Hey, my name's Chris. I'm an addict. So we'd asked Bo to join us, and Bo, one of the things that we were hoping you would reflect on was something that was written following the October 1980, or in the October 1980 Rainbow Connection. And in it, it says, as a result of addicts meeting in Lincoln, Nebraska in September 1980, a book, a dream will be realized. But it would be inaccurate to say that we have written a book. We all came from many parts of the country and many walks of life. We had all, by the grace of our higher power and the help of our fellow addicts, survived a killing disease. In an effort to continue to survive, we have met here to share our experience, strength, and hope. The book is just a reflection of this effort. It is in this spirit that our book will come forth. Addicts all over the world will have the Narcotics Anonymous book for comfort and for study. When we find ourselves by ourselves, we need not be alone. We will have our book and we will have each other. And having that written after the second World Lit Conference in October 1980, and to where we are today with the basic text being in 33 languages, just hope that you could share some reflections on that. Thank you, Bo.
All right, Bo, I'm gonna unmute you because we had our program changed up. You've got about 5 minutes. Go ahead, you're unmuted.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, this is sort of reminiscent. My name's Bo S. and I'm an addict. Got clean July 10th, 1974. And it was a few years after the basic text dream had become a reality. And, you know, everybody had one. And I was listening to some tapes from a history conference in Alabama. And I'd never listened, somebody gave me the CD or something, so I was listening to it. I was painting signs and doing, you know, alone. And it's like one member after another, girls crying on the phone saying, I felt like somebody had been following me around and taking notes. And it was just boom, boom, boom for, you know, several hours. And it really got to me. I was alone in a basement down in a little 5 Points, Atlanta, which is pretty damn, you know, typical, nondescript kind of an artist world down there a little bit. But that hit me pretty hard. And I can think of a dozen times that I thought to myself, you know, your private thoughts when you're driving along in the middle of the night or whatever. I thought, you know, this fucking disease can kill you. I'm gonna have to tighten up. I'm gonna have to work a better program. And then I realized I'm going to a convention. I'm gonna be with my friends for 3 or 4 days, you know. So that's the kind of clean time I have, and that speaks for a lot of my days to this, you know, to this very time. And I was informed of this event, but I was speaking in Portugal from 4 o'clock till, I don't know, 6:45 or something like that. And then a dear sweet lady, Willina, called Georgie, called me, and I finally got the Zoom number and got on. So I've been listening to the speakers for about, I don't know, maybe an hour. But I told my story to, not my story, but the story of how the details of how the basic text was written to Guy B in Detroit, Michigan. And he's a Chrysler employee, and he works on assembly lines. So he's got a feel for methodology. And when I explained, you know, the way we copied all the 800 pages and then put the originals in a safe place, and then we started clipping up. We had a topic outline based on the white booklet, so everything that belonged in, you know, chapter 1 and, you know, A would kind of go in there. We got these many little divided up piles of paper, and that's how the input from the fellowship in 800 pages wound up actually being in the document. And I told the lit workers that, which they, you know, any member could show up and be a lit worker. And I said, just remember that every piece of paper 100 people thought of it, 5 of them made it to a mailbox, and 3 of them had a stamp. So I want you to multiply the written input times 10. Have a deliberate bias that we include the thoughts and feelings and experience of the fellowship, to where one day they'll read the book and they'll read their line. And that was kind of the attitude. And that was not a hard sell. And well, another magic moment was, you know, a fellow, I guess in his early 20s, was sitting there just interrupted, you know, obviously it's on Crystal. And as my style as a chairperson is, my belief is that a chairperson is supposed to do as little as possible. So I kind of leaned back and just watched him, and everybody else was quiet. This young lady over to my right, I don't know her name or anything, but she said, sir, we're writing this book for you, but we're not going to let you stop us from writing it. Young girl, pretty girl. She said it real fierce like that. The guy just looked down and looked up, stood up, and left the room. So that's the spirit there. There was nobody exactly controlled it. We had that mind meld, you know, like Vulcans, man. We were like hooked into one another, and anybody in the room that had the best idea, that's what we did. And that went on in Wichita. It happened. We had the most god-awful time getting the minutes from Wichita, but we turned out a really good handbook. And I had a printer friend of mine around the corner, close to where I live now, and Phil Page is his name. He says, will you take that over to Alpha Reprographics, Marietta Reprographics, and get it typeset, and I'll print you some copies. So that's what I did. Now, I don't know whether he printed the cover or maybe I screen printed it. But anyway, we were just the kind of people that did that kind of stuff. That was our regular day, you know. And
Hey, Bo, you got 5 more minutes.
I can stop now. I mean,
No, go ahead.
Story
No, you're just getting going. Go ahead.
Well, the amazing thing was that the WSO pushed through that it approved difference, and we thought, well, that's really nice. You know, finally they're doing something, you know, give some, you know, tactile, physical support, evidence of their support. And they never printed the same one. The only one that they got it pushed through at conferences, they wanted to cock race so they could kill it. You figure that out. I never really did, except I think there were several different movements in motion, and we always announced what we did, and I always checked it by Jimmy and Greg to cut down on the shock value and make sure they got the story straight. And we kept setting and announcing our goals, and we kept exceeding our goals. And just, I had the feeling, it's kind of an awful thing, and I'm going to consider that probably a portion of your audience here today is kind of weird, a little bit like I am. But sometimes I just get sick of it. I just get tired, and I say, I'm just going to bed, and that's it. I'm just not going to do another damn thing. And it's like in the room behind me, I felt, this is what I felt. And it was like the screams of dying addicts. And I would like sit right up and I'd go right back to work. And that's literal. Anyway, you take care. And I'm so glad to hear Linda and all the other wonderful shares, and Tom Call, and, you know, just different people. We've been in this for a long time. It's been a rough 40 years. I clock these things. And the book was written in 81. Next year is 2021. It's 40 years later. That's a biblical chunk of time. And, you know, we need to stop playing around and start setting, you know, worthy goals and achieve them. It's a lot more fun. It's actually easier, and you have a nice residue, you know, that helps people. And I think it's miraculous right now. We got members, not just me, but we got all kind of members speaking for. I spoke 3 hours and 45 minutes before somebody called me, this Willeen G. And I finally got on the call, and you were good enough to acknowledge me. So I'll probably sit on the call a little bit longer. I love you, y'all. I'm going to keep coming back. You know, this stuff will kill you. Thank you.